welcome. You're watching yet another edition of Market Masterclass on Money9. I'm Sakshi Batra, and joining in on this show is a very special guest, Mr. Avinash Gorakshakar, Director Research at Profit Mart Securities, joins in. Thank you very much, sir, for joining in on this very special show. It's a pleasure to have you with us, as is always. Let me begin by understanding from you, sir, your reading of the markets in the current scenario. Now we are bombarded with these headlines of economists really, penciling in some kind of demand disruption due to the second wave, and how consumption may be hit going forward because of the lockdown, the sentiments being hit because of the kind of what's happening on the ground with respect to healthcare. So, how are markets really reading this?
Yeah, I think Swakshi, the first COVID wave is going to be completely different from the second COVID wave. The second COVID wave is, more detrimental for the rural markets. We have been hearing that COVID 2 has actually impacted rural markets more badly as compared to the first wave. And I think that is going to obviously upset and disrupt demand trends for most of the FMCG and the consumption related companies. I think in terms of volume growth, what could happen maybe in the April to June quarter, one could see a further moderation of volume growth, and that is definitely going to impact larger players across various categories. So I think this time it's going to be the urban markets which are going to save the FMCG pack, but overall rural market, if it continues to remain weak, then I think demand consumption, which is largely rural market driven for most of these FMCG consumption driven companies, is going to obviously impact their earnings numbers. I think hopefully COVID cases are declining now, and hopefully, if this trend continues, then I think you could possibly see a kind of revival from the second half of FY22.
Yeah,
So there could be a lag impact in the second quarter also, but I think overall,
right.
first and the second quarter could be challenging.
Okay. Sir, I also wanted to understand from you, are we going to see a repeat of the same playbook that we saw last year when the reopening happened? The demand had surprised us that time. Is it going to be same, or is it going to be different this time around?
No, I think this time it's going to be different. I think from a index point of view, also if you remember last March, April, we were around 7,500 to 8,000. Today the index Nifty is almost 15,000. So I think markets are definitely gung ho. They are more confident, and the most important driver for this confidence is the fact that the vaccination has started. We have been seeing a larger traction on the vaccination front, although the pace has been pretty slow. Most importantly, COVID cases are declining, and I would not
Yeah.
be surprised that most of the sectors like consumption, manufacturing, typically discretionary, these would definitely pick up from July, August onwards. Maybe the April to June quarter numbers are partially discounted in the market, and I don't
Yeah.
think anybody is in a mood to sell out in any kind of panic as on date, especially looking at the kind of price trends.
Absolutely. But now there is also talk of the third wave coming in soon after we, get out of the second wave. So is the market also factoring in that, or is there something that which could surprise the markets in the coming months?
Yeah, I think Sakshi, it's very difficult to quantify, what could be the impact of the third wave. Although,
Yeah.
technically, a lot of people have been talking that third wave could happen. I think markets are looking at, growth as a kind of a long-term kind of, approach. I would believe that, if the third COVID attack also happens, I think the best thing is that we have vaccines now with us, and I
Yeah.
think, in all sense, the markets is optimistic. I think even if you look at frontline or mid caps or cash stocks, I think the kind of confidence we see in most of the investors today is
Hmm.
significantly high. So maybe there could be some sort of panic sell-offs in between, but the market is not going to drop significantly because earnings growth, my sense is compared to FY21. FY22
Mm-hmm.
would show a significantly more higher growth, even if we lose one quarter of the current year. So I think net third COVID wave may come or not come. I think the markets are going to be positive. I don't think you're going to see any major panic sell off because of the COVID third wave.
Okay, understood. So I have to ask you this, that this week we've seen the cryptocurrency crash, and there is a whole lot of talk about it. How do you read this for the markets really? On the one hand, do you think this will renew the investors' confidence into equities as an asset class because it is regulated? There is more safety here. And on the other hand, now that we are seeing one by one asset classes really fall, like after cryptocurrency, we've also seen a dip in gold. Is equity also, going in for some kind of dip going forward?
I think Sakshi, it's difficult to point out exactly what could be the direct impact on equity markets. But one thing is very clear: cryptocurrencies, typically, even if you look at Bitcoin, my sense is that you're going to see a lot of volatility in global markets. And I think if the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency continuously, fall and creates a lot of losses for hedge funds as well as large, traders, then that will somewhere, impact flows to emerging markets. And I think especially flows from hedge funds could get impacted very badly. Typically FIs who are only long only funds may not be that badly impacted, but for India I think this is a very far off possibility that some global sell off may happen and that could impact Indian markets. I think we'll have to see these trends at least for the next 3 to 6 months, because typically crypto is a very niche kind of currency. Not many people, at least in India, do that. And my sense is, I mean, purely on this factor alone, the markets will not correct. There could be
Okay.
some other economic, reason also. So I think it's better to, watch these, new kind of derivative products, the crypto or maybe the Bitcoin, at least for the next 1 or 2 quarters. After which, things would be better and more clear.
Okay, let's now talk about some of the pockets that have been really performing in the markets. What's your outlook on the commodities baskets, which has seen an unprecedented bull run globally, and it is now being compared with, say, perhaps 2007-8 kind of a rally as well. How much more room is there for an up move, and what could be a sign that these stocks are now perhaps petering out?
See, I think commodities possibly could be in a super cycle for the simple reason that in the last 10 years, there has been not been many major capacity additions, both on
Yeah.
the ferrous as well as on the non-ferrous side. And I think this is the reason, most of the domestic steel prices have benefited not only because of, the price increase, but even the volume increase. My sense is that, globally prices of aluminum or zinc or copper are going to remain elevated for at least the next 6 to 12 months, because incremental capacities are hard to come in. Fresh
Hmm.
supply is not going to come in easily, and I think that is probably one of the key reasons why companies like Hindalco, or for that reason a Tata Steel, a Hindustan Zinc, or Hindustan Copper, I think we are going to see record number of profits coming in FY22 also. There could be
Okay.
phases where the stocks could see some profit booking, but I think from a fundamental perspective, FY22 would be a lot better than the previous year.
Absolutely. Now, sir, we are also witnessing benign monetary conditions, increased FPI interest in more or so in the broader market space. We're also seeing that the government is pushing heavily on the infrastructure as well. Looking at all of these factors, the broader market space, is that going to stand more benefited? Already we are seeing these spaces outperform the markets. The BSE small cap is at a lifetime high. Nifty mid cap 100 is at a lifetime high. How are you looking at the broader market space?
No, I think, Sakshi, I think the broader market looks to be quite strong. I think two, three factors which would drive the markets are: first is, what could be the trend in inflation over the next, say, 3 to 4 months? Because when commodity prices rise, obviously inflation goes up, and that is something which is not good for interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I think, from a very broader perspective, the economy is still facing the effects of COVID too. So, we have got many states which have still got partial lockdowns. So obviously, if the COVID cases come down, these partial lockdowns are removed, then the markets could get a better sense of comfort in going forward. And most
Sure.
importantly, the flows. I think FI flows have been pretty decent in the past few weeks. The dollar index has been weak. So I think if the dollar index remains weak, you could see a lot of global liquidity coming in the markets. So I think net FY22 will obviously look at these factors very closely, and interest rates are unlikely to move up in a hurry. I won't be surprised till September at least. RBI
Okay.
is not going to take a stance to raise rates. So that,
Hmm.
which means that the markets would remain in a fine fittle. And I think earnings numbers would be obviously be closely watched. First quarter apart, the second quarter numbers, third quarter numbers is what the markets would obviously look at. And, the momentum seems to be pretty strong here.
Okay. Now, one more factor that everybody will be keenly watching is how the monsoon really plays out. So far, all the indications are that there is going to be a normal monsoon this time around. So, themes related to the monsoon, is that something that you would like to keep on your mind, apart from the commodities basket, apart from all the other sectors that have been the ones that have been leading the rally? Any particular names there, if you would want to suggest the stocks as well?
Yeah, I think my guess is monsoon related sectors could be agrochemicals, because that is one sector which is going to do well. And our sense is that farmers would continue to consume agrochemicals in increased quantity. So I think companies like United Phosphorus or maybe a Sharda Cropchem or even a Rallis could do well.
Mhm.
My sense is that capital goods and manufacturing, this is one area where possibly even the budget has given a big boost. So possibly you could see a lot of incremental activity happening. We have already seen capital good companies, pump manufacturing companies doing very well, and order books
Mhm.
have been at record high. So probably these are also partly linked to the agri sector growth. So possibly these could be sectors which I think investors could still think of putting their money. And I think looking at the market levels, Sakshi, I think it would be better if they buy on declines, because this market has actually risen more on liquidity, and therefore it always makes sense for waiting for meaningful corrections and then slowly accumulating stocks within these sectors.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Gorakshaka, for speaking to us on Moneyline and sharing your views on the markets, the way they are going to move, the particular sectors that you're really bullish on from here on, and the stocks that one can definitely look at adding to their portfolio to bring meaningful, returns to their portfolio going forward from here as well. It's a pleasure speaking with you, as is always, sir. Thank you so much for your time on Moneyline and on Market Masterclass. And
Thank
with
you.
that, we wrap up this edition of Market Masterclass, but a whole lot is awaited right on the other side on markets and personal finance. So don't go anywhere and stay logged on to money9.com.